Paranormal's Army, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, rocking around the Christmas tree, rewatching Home Alone for the 1000th time, and it is the debut of Paranormal's Frightmare Before Christmas. For the month of December, we are replaying the best and scariest Paranormal's episodes every single day of the month with a few surprises to keep things interesting for you guys. We've gained a lot of new subscribers lately, so to help catch up on our old videos, our 2-part videos will be condensed into one video. Secondly, we will be giving 2 prizes of $500 away to the 2 people who find the Spirit Tech logo hidden in 2 of the videos throughout the month. This is not 2 Spirit Tech logos per video, it's 2 Spirit Tech logos in the entire month of December. And if the same person finds both, that person will win $1,000. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what's in it for Johnny and Jordan? And to be honest with you guys, we have hit another crossroads with the channel.
Most of you that are watching have no idea how YouTube works. At the end of the day, we're really not doing this for any other reason besides the fact that we want to study our analytics for the entire month and decide if it's worth it for us to do this again full time. And we're hoping that you guys as our viewers and our family and everybody that's been there from day one will understand that we're trying to connect with new people. Our analytics reached out to you and you're the community we have now, but there's a huge potential of people that just don't know who we are, that if we post every single day at 6 p.m., we might reach more people, and that's kind of the gain that we want to try and reach.
As you guys have seen, we haven't been very active on the channel this year because over a year ago, we went all in on the channel, chasing a dream, and we completely crashed, burned, and failed miserably despite posting regularly. And we're still recovering from that. Our lives suffered greatly, our relationship with each other suffered greatly, and this is what eventually led to me leaving the channel. We really want to do the channel full time again, but we also need to know that it's worth it for us financially to do so. The best month for YouTubers financially is December in terms of ad revenue and everything. So what we need you guys to do is hang out with us every single day at 6 p.m. Central Time in the live premieres and rewatch these old videos for us, because if we get the support from you guys, we know that this is something that we are able to pursue at this point of our lives. And I know we see in the comments that a lot of you guys think that we're rich YouTubers and we're just being lazy, but that's not the case at all. In fact, most of the videos that you guys have already seen from last year that we're going to be replaying this month, they barely made any money at all when they came out. So if this month goes really well for us, we'll know that this is worth it. And if it goes really well for us, what you guys get in return is a ton of brand new Paranormal's episodes, because we'll have the funds from this month to do so. So if you want to see a ton of brand new Paranormal's episodes in 2023 and have the chance to potentially win $1,000, tune in every day at 6 p.m. Central Time to hang out with us and try your luck. Thanks again for everybody in the Paranormal's Army for continuing to support us, and good luck.
The same tapping noise drew us into the bathroom for a second time, but this time it was accompanied by the sound of the door vibrating. But we kind of wrote it off that it would have been somebody opening or closing their hotel room door and kind of shook ours by, sending a draft down the hallway. Something that's a lot harder to explain is something you probably missed, just like I almost missed during editing. And that's when Jordan walked into the bathroom for the second time. He didn't have a reflection in the mirror.
Sleep paralysis affects an estimated 8% of the total human population. It's described as a gray area between being wide awake and experiencing the most terrifying nightmare that you can imagine. You open your eyes to a pitch black room, feeling a pressure on your chest and sensing a dark presence in the room. You try to get up, but can't move. You try to scream for help, but can't talk. Your only option is to lay there in horror, completely at the mercy of the terrifying tricks your mind chooses to play on you. Some people who suffer from sleep paralysis have reported seeing a sleep paralysis demon that haunts them in the night. This sleep paralysis demon is thought to be a malicious entity known as the mare. In Old English and Scandinavian mythology, the mare would sit on your chest while you slept, which would bring on terrifying nightmares. In fact, this is where the word nightmare comes from. Some still believe that the pressure you feel on your chest during a sleep paralysis episode is in fact the mare sitting on you, bringing on the horrifying dreams you are about to witness. A fan of ours from Calgary named Christina told us about a very terrifying sleep paralysis episode that she experienced while staying at the Norwood Hotel in Winnipeg. However, what she experienced seemed to be something more than most people experience. She seemed to have a real run-in with something supernatural. The Norwood Hotel is not a hotel you will find on any top 10 haunted places in Winnipeg list, but through the years, we have heard one or two stories through the grapevine from people who claim they've experienced paranormal activity at the hotel. Things like elevator doors opening and closing on their own, and audible chatter coming through the locked bar doors. We never really thought twice about it, but it wasn't until this story, which we found so fascinating, that made us wonder what sort of entity might be lurking in the hotel. In 2008, Christina was in Winnipeg for a convention at the Winnipeg Convention Center with a few colleagues. She was in her early 20s at the time and still fairly new to her company. Christina checked in late Tuesday evening at the Norwood Hotel for 2 nights, totally exhausted as she'd been driving since the early morning to get to Winnipeg at a decent time. She got to her room and got ready for bed almost immediately. Before bed, Christina called her boyfriend. She recalls telling him the small details about her trip, like the moose she saw on the Trans-Canada Highway and where she stopped for lunch. But the phone call didn't last long. She had a big day at the convention the next morning, so she said "I love you," hung up the phone, and went to bed. Christina opened her eyes around 2 a.m. and realized that her body was completely paralyzed. Christina was sleeping on her side towards the door to her room, and there, peeking around the corner, she could make out in complete darkness a man with the most evil and sinister grin on his face just staring at her. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. She tried to get up and run, but her legs did not obey her. She could only lay there and watch the man around the corner, feeling the sheer terror of the situation. She tried unsuccessfully again to scream, and the man put his finger in front of his mouth as if to shush her. This is the last thing she remembers before again passing out. Christina woke 6 hours later. She was so shaken that she vomited almost immediately upon waking. She looked around the room and there was no sign that anyone had been in her hotel room, and the door was still double locked with a deadbolt. She called her boyfriend and told him what had happened. He told her that she likely just experienced an episode of sleep paralysis. Christina had never experienced sleep paralysis before and insisted that the man in her room was real. Her boyfriend reassured her that during sleep paralysis episodes, people tend to hallucinate. He even shared a story with her about when he experienced sleep paralysis as a child when he saw a tiger walk into his room. Her boyfriend was able to calm her down, and Christina had to leave for the convention soon, so she hung up the phone and got ready. Throughout the day, she couldn't shake the awful feeling in her stomach that she woke up with. The feeling that she experienced something terrible and that it would happen again that night. Christina didn't want to return to her room, but since she was still new at her company, she didn't want to be a bother and asked them to book her at a new hotel on such short notice. That night, she called her boyfriend before bed again. She didn't want to end the call, as she was terrified of falling asleep again. Fearing that she would experience the same terrifying nightmare again, she talked to him for hours until she couldn't keep her eyes open anymore. That night, Christina did have a nightmare, but did not experience the same sleep paralysis episode as the previous night. Instead, she dreamt that she saw a man on fire floating outside of her hotel room window. The dream was short-lived, because almost as quickly as it started, she woke up to her boyfriend calling her. He was hysterical on the phone. He just had a dream that a man broke into her hotel room and did all sorts of horrific things to her. Christina had never heard her boyfriend in hysterics like this. Christina was already shaken from the dream that she just had, as well as the sleep paralysis episode from the night before, and this was more than she could take. She hung up the phone, grabbed her keys off the nightstand, and drove away for the night. She ended up in a McDonald's parking lot, where she managed to sleep in her car for a few hours until sunrise. Christina had intended to head back to Calgary that morning, so she headed back to the hotel to grab her things so she could get back on the road. What she found when she got to the hotel absolutely shocked her. The door to her room appeared to be slightly dented in. When she walked in, she saw that the window was wide open and the screen was on the floor. Her suitcase was rummaged through, but nothing was missing, except for a few items of clothing she had left on the bathroom floor after showering the night before. She grabbed her things, checked out, and started the drive back home. After she left the city, she stopped at a gas station to call her boyfriend. She told him about everything that she had found back at her hotel room and thanked him for calling, because if he hadn't have called, there's no telling if she'd even be alive right now. But his response made her blood run cold. He told her that he had no recollection of making the call. He checked his recent calls on his cell phone, but had no recent calls since he talked her to sleep the night before. When she checked her recent calls, she realized that her last call was to her boyfriend, but it was when she called him before bed the night before while afraid to fall asleep. Christina still doesn't know what to make of this event. She has not experienced sleep paralysis since and has never stayed in a hotel room by herself again. Was there some sort of evil entity in the room foreshadowing what would happen to her? Was it really her boyfriend that called her? Or was something trying to warn her and get her to leave? Was the man in her sleep paralysis episode real? Was he the same man that broke into her room the second night? Christina never forgot her room number. She left the hotel in such a hurry that she still had one hotel key in her back pocket with the number 313 on it. We stayed in room 313 at the Norwood Hotel to try to find some answers for Christina.
Something said here.
We're here because a woman named Christina said she had an experience in this room. Do you remember her? What'd it say?
Started with a D. Can you say that again? Oh, K2 just went off. What's going off? Modern?
Modern.
Is the hotel more modern since she was here?
It must have been. It was like 13 years ago. I think she said 2008. If you've been with us for a long time, you'll have noticed that we didn't use our spirit box for anything other than sensory deprivations for last season. And we really wanted to bring it back this season, but we wanted to bring it back without the annoying static that you hear from a spirit box just by himself. So what we did is we hooked it up to a guitar noise gate pedal, and you can set the threshold so that it cuts out all the static and you can still hear the words coming through. And after that, we hooked it up to our JBL speaker just to amplify it so we can hear the words a little bit clearer. She said that she saw you in her sleep. Were you trying to warn her, or were you?
That was weird.
Were you evil? Were you evil? Were you evil?
Mom, sound like?
It said okay.
Okay. Mom, okay.
Kid?
Okay, so that's weird.
It said
This
mom.
one said mom. That one said
Oh, this
okay.
said kid.
And then, see, this is one other thing we were going to try and do is we were going to try and get the Ovilus and the spirit box to see if two entities could have a conversation with each other.
Yeah. I mean, so far we got mom and we got kid over here.
Yeah, mom,
Is
okay,
that-
kid.
So is that your mom on the spirit box? If you don't want to answer our questions, we've got all kinds of devices that you can touch to let us know. You can touch the REM pod. The K2 meter here.
Or you can come in here and go in front of this doll.
Remember? Do you remember Christina? She stayed here a long time ago. She was very scared. She woke up in the middle of the night and she saw something staring at her. Do you remember that? Was that you?
If you have anything to say, now is the time to say it. Wow. Sound like hello.
That was almost another hello. Diabolical. She described that as a sinister being
Yeah.
staring at her. Isabella, is that your name? I don't know what's going on here.
It said mom before. Is the mom's name Isabella?
Rage.
There's some pretty nasty words you're saying.
Diabolical rage. So I'm trying to put the story together, and I was wondering if what she saw was trying to scare her away for her own good, but it sounds like that's you who was scaring her. Maybe you did mean her some harm. Is that right?
If so, touch the REM pod. Oh, did the K2 just go off?
Did it?
Yeah, it is. Just went off a couple times. If that's you, do it again. Or could you please do it again? Come and just touch it.
What are you thinking so far?
I'm thinking that it could have just been a sleep paralysis episode. You know?
It could have been wrong?
It sounded like wrong. And it won't focus on you.
Really?
Now it is. For some reason it wouldn't focus on you.
So maybe we gotta listen to the spirit box more. Was it not just a sleep paralysis episode?
We're on again? Come and touch this REM pod.
Lay?
Like laying in the bed?
Lay in the bed? You want me to lay in the bed?
Yeah, lay in the bed.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the SLS.
Okay. What did it say?
It said yo.
Yo.
Yo. How are you doing?
Lasting.
Well, I'm hoping you can make a lasting impression on me. I swear I heard a noise over here.
I heard it too. Ledge?
Ledge? Are you on the ledge? There is a ledge outside.
There's a ledge
the window.
right here outside. There is a ledge there. Didn't she say she thought somebody came into her room?
Yeah.
Is it possible that somebody climbed up that ledge?
I mean, it's pretty high up from where that is, but I guess it could be possible.
Okay, why isn't this working? It won't even pick you up.
It won't pick me up?
No.
What if I like go like this?
Language.
Nope, it won't pick you up.
Really? That's weird.
It wouldn't, it's like, what the hell's going on? It wouldn't, it was blurring you out.
Is there something around me right now? Is there something around me right now? Is there something around me right now that's interfering with the electronics?
It won't pick Jordan up. What'd it say?
See, it's like I can't quite make it out what it's saying. I'm hearing words over there. Is.
There is something around you?
There is something.
The doll won't go off. Jordan,
What?
come look. The doll won't go off. We just changed batteries. Look at this.
Wow. Usually she doesn't shut up.
What? You walk in front of it. Okay, hang on. Stay there. Flip it around. I want to just keep this in one shot to see.
Well,
What?
there she goes. Ooh.
But she's not making any noise.
She's not making any noise. That is weird.
She's not saying anything. Whoa. She's just not saying anything anymore.
Yeah, like I said, like usually she doesn't shut up.
There is no setting for audio. It's just on and off. What the fuck? Like she always says.
That's super weird.
On.
On. It just said
Look.
on.
She just did it again. Now is she gonna go? Oh my god.
Oh.
That one had force.
I wonder if it's controlling
Perhaps.
the doll.
Oh, I got
It
bad
said
goosebumps.
on,
man.
and then yeah, because
Bad
why else would it not
goosebumps.
make any
UK.
noise?
What?
UK.
That was weird. So, okay, Jordan, here's one thought. Here's one thing. Because when I turned the light on, it turned on, so it's probably
Yeah.
light activated. But then now look at it now. Now it's going off. Why did
Yeah.
I do it before when the lights are, and it was on the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the?
Do you like our doll? You can play with the doll if you want.
I don't like that thing anymore.
Dash.
Dash?
No. Dollars?
Dash like run? Should we run?
Oh man, it's got a weird feeling in here now a bit.
Diabolical.
Again?
Again. I don't think
Show us something diabolical then.
I've ever heard that word on this app before, and I said it twice in one night.
I've never heard that word come through ever. Show us something diabolical. See, the thing is with this one, it's hard to decide whether you want to be disrespectful or respectful because what is it?
Yeah, we really don't know. It's like we have one anecdotal story, you know.
So
To
can we
go
taunt
off
a
of.
bit?
Yes, we could.
We don't normally do this, but we're going to do it just to see. Do you hear that? Is that you?
I'm not sure. I shuffled on the bed a little
It
bit.
sounded like it came from back over here, though.
Yeah, that was
okay,
me.
that was you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounded bad.
Yeah, I don't like doing this very much.
We don't like doing this, but if you're here, do something. Show us how strong you are because it doesn't seem like you're very strong at all.
Got. Got. Got.
Got.
Show us what you got then.
Yeah.
You do have something?
Diabolical.
Again. A third time. That wasn't me.
That wasn't me. Okay. You think you're diabolical? Show me something diabolical. That was loud, hey? Sounded like it said Michael.
Michael.
That's a creepy. That name just reminds me of Michael Myers. Show us how diabolical you are to touch that device right there, that REM pod.
In the bathtub.
We'll give it some light here. Whoa.
What is this now?
Hello? Is this where you've been hiding? That is really creepy.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
sitting in
looking
the bathtub.
behind there.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. That's just like it's like sitting in the corner of the tub. You hiding? One of the really great things about our new SLS camera that we got from Spirit Tech is that it's a lot less sensitive to just random objects around the room than our previous phone app SLS was. And no different was when we found it was some kind of a figure sitting, it looked like it was sitting on the corner of the bathtub or something. And an SLS camera should only work when there's light in the room, but we shut the lights off in the bathroom and it was still picking up that figure, which absolutely should not happen. And what was really convincing and really scary was when we asked it to move its arms or move its leg or something, and it obeyed our commands, which was really crazy. Can you wave?
Can you wave to us or move your legs? It's waving!
Question?
Oh, move its legs! Oh, dude! It's waving. Look at its hand.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a question for us?
Thank you for showing us that you're here. This is what we wanted, just to see you. It's moving its leg like we asked. Is there something that you want us to know or to tell somebody? It's given so many names that it would be hard to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for showing us that you were here and doing what we asked too. Oh, it's moving its legs still. That's so cool, man. It's moving its hands and its legs like we asked.
Look, you got a pretty long arm there. It almost sounded like a kid's voice in the
Yeah, it
spirit
did.
box.
Whoa.
Not sure if the mics are picking it up from here, but we can still hear the spirit box and the Ovilus from where we are.
We decided to place the motion-activated balls on the same bed that Christina slept in back in 2008. Beforehand, we tested the sensitivity of these balls, and they're so sensitive to the human touch that even if you were to shake the bed stomp on the floor and make some vibration, they will not go off. It's just when you touch them. So what happened next was very convincing evidence to us that there was some kind of paranormal activity going on. We'll get the obvious going.
Scanning.
Okay.
Well, if there's anything here still, come and touch these motion activated balls.
There's some new toys for you to play with, but if you'd prefer.
These will light up like this
Yeah.
if you touch one.
And we still have a REM pod set up over here.
You can touch any one of those. Oh, this is just dead. Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Thank you. I didn't... Scared?
Scare.
I did not expect that.
No, man, 'cause that guy hasn't even touched the REM pod yet.
Oh my god, I just saw a shadow behind you.
Really? Should I look?
Yeah, look. I saw it by the bathroom over there.
It wasn't my shadow?
Nope. Yours is casting over there to my right. If that was you, can you touch the ball one more time? That was wild.
And that's a little bit unnerving knowing there's a shadow behind me somewhere.
These have never lit up. Remember when we were placing them before?
Yeah. Yeah, we were trying to see if anything else might do it, but you actually have to touch them.
What?
Laborer?
What's that noise? You hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like tapping.
What is that?
Is that the shadow behind me?
You hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like water, like tap. A water tap.
What's that?
That was a REM pod.
Not long after the motion ball lit up, we both heard tapping coming from inside the bathroom. The closer we got, it almost sounded like water dripping, but we checked that and it sounded like it was tapping on the wall. Can you do that again? Light up that REM pod one more time. Or move one of these balls. Oh, that scared me. What? It was you?
You're saying it was you. It was you who did that. Who are you? Can you tell me? I mean, we've heard so many names, but we don't know which one you are.
You lit up the ball. You lit up the REM pod. Can you do it again? One or the other or both at the same time. Oh, that was freaky. What is that noise? You hear it still?
Sounds like a tapping. I'll check it out.
Heavy.
Heavy. You hear it still? I can still hear it from here.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from. It almost sounds like, yeah, like water.
Oh my god. Nobody. That could have been caused by if somebody slammed their door, but
I didn't hear a door slam though. I didn't hear a door slam, did you?
No.
When we were in the bathroom trying to pinpoint the source of the sounds, I had a strong feeling that whatever was causing the tapping noise might have been the figure that we caught on the SLS camera earlier. But we didn't really have a whole lot of time to test that theory because another sound drew us back into the other room.
The same tapping noise drew us into the bathroom for a second time, but this time it was accompanied by the sound of the door vibrating. But we kind of wrote it off that it would have been somebody opening or closing their hotel room door and kind of shook ours by, sending a draft down the hallway. Something that's a lot harder to explain is something you probably missed, just like I almost missed during editing. And that's when Jordan walked into the bathroom for the second time. He didn't have a reflection in the mirror. And I don't understand cameras very well, so I don't understand if this is a FPS issue with the camera during that moment for low light sensitivity. I don't know how that all works, so I don't know. But if that's not the case, then I came up with a theory, and I'll share that. Jordan wasn't being picked up by the SLS camera throughout the night, and it wouldn't focus on his face specifically a lot throughout the night. And we kind of were talking about the possibility that there was something latching onto him or, just lingering around him that night. And I think it's possible that when Jordan passed by the mirror the second time, that something was either standing in front of the mirror blocking his reflection, or it was something walking with Jordan to the bathroom. Either way, it's really unsettling, and it's probably one of the best pieces of footage that I think we've ever caught. Normally we don't leave a location in the middle of the night, but because we were in the city, we decided we were going to go out and grab something to eat. And then we brought our food back and decided we were going to watch the Haunted Sides live stream. If you were watching the Haunted Sides live stream, you would already know what's going to happen, but around 2:33 in the morning, we got a phone call to our hotel room.
Anytime it feels like they're about to say something to us, it shuts the whole house down.
What time is it? 2 in the morning.
Hello? Hello? I can hear you breathing. Okay, bye.
Just somebody breathing.
Yeah, I could just hear them breathing. While we're watching their live?
I get that.
Who even knows that we're here though? Nobody.
Look at that. While we're watching Haunted Sides live too. Nobody knows we're here. Unless somebody saw us downstairs.
I guess that's a possibility. How would they know which room we're in?
I don't know. When I went downstairs, the security guard was sleeping.
Oh yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah. He was dead asleep.
But still, how would some...
That's what I mean is...
Yeah. Something that I don't really talk about a whole lot is that I actually experience sleep paralysis from time to time. I've never really had the really scary hallucinations. Most of the time it's just, I wake up and I can't move. And usually by now I know what's going on, and I can just kind of wiggle my fingers and my toes, and I can wake up from it pretty quick. But it's always really scary when it happens to me. But this was the reason we decided that I would sleep in the same bed that Christina stayed in, because since I'm more prone to sleep paralysis, that maybe I would be able to see the same thing that she saw that night and be able to corroborate her story. Some of the strange events that happened in room 313 are far different from the paranormal activity that we've seen in the past. The fact that my reflection didn't show up in the mirror, it messed with me for a couple of days, because on one hand, like, it's so cool, and then on the other hand, you just don't really know what it means. And it just kind of goes to show that paranormal activity could be happening in your own house right beside you, and you would have no idea because you're just looking the other way. The Norwood Hotel was a place that we almost wrote off because the stories we heard before were not that impactful, but we're glad that Christina came forward with this story because it led to one of the best pieces of footage we've ever caught, given that it's not a camera glitch. It's hard to say what Christina was dealing with during her stay at the Norwood in 2008, and we'll never be able to explain that life-saving phone call that she received, but we're happy to share our findings with her just to give her some peace of mind knowing that she's not the only one that experienced strange events in room 313.